Hi everybody, it's Mike Newman. It's Sunday night with ILXCTF. So, one thing I want to do, I'm calling shenanigans on the Chicago Bears season. I'm telling you, holy smokes. 28-7.5 or whatever, 21-7.5. It's 21-7. Justin Fields has only thrown one incomplete pass the entire game. Whoops. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about the Bears. And I did. And usually the last few weeks, I've been watching the Red Zone. Watching the Red Zone, and then Bears are doing something, okay, I'll turn over to the regular feed. I didn't do that today. I got my hopes up. I'm like, it's going good. I was finishing writing something. I was in a good mood. Then Russell Wilson Jr. III. Touchdown, 28-14. 28-21. Oh, it's getting close. Oh, Fields will get it. Fields will keep it under control. Oh, let me fumble it and... Oh, give me a break. Well, I guess I can watch Red Zone next week. Wait a minute. Bears are playing Washington on Amazon Prime on Thursday. I can't escape it. I can't escape it. So, not using the cell phone. Computer camera is not working great right now. So, we're doing it old school so that you can see my face and all my expressions. Or you can just blacken it out yourself, put a paper towel over it. So, we're going to talk about a few things. I didn't write any notes down. But we'll talk about Peoria. We'll talk about, I think Peoria and Nike are the two big ones there, and then we can talk about other things. We're going into a busy week. A lot of night meets this week. Naperville Twilight, I love that meet. I'll be there on Wednesday. And then you have Loyola and Lakes at the end of the week, and then you go into Metamora and Sterling into the weekend, and then next week, Amboy. I love Amboy. We go Amboy into conference week, and then let's get serious. So, any case, so let's talk about Peoria first. The 1A, 2A races were the better of the two, mainly because it got warmer, and you have all the 3A teams. Most of them run there. Some of them come back to try to run a little bit better. The conditions, this wasn't the same cross-country course that you ran at First to the Finish or Richard Spring. It was a matter of they had rain in the Peoria area. It softened the course up. It didn't look like it when I walked around after I got there. But then the weather got warmer. It was 80 degrees by the 3A race. That's why there was only 4 runners that went under 15 minutes in that race. And there were some good runners in there. But it was just getting really steamy and the humidity was going up. And I know it was in other meets that you were at, that some of you were at. But it felt that way. It didn't bother Kate Foltz of Tuscola. Boy, let me tell you, that state meet in 1A, the first race of the day at 9 a.m. on Rollvember 4th. We're in Rocktober. Today's Rocktober 1st. Rollvember. Rollvember 4th. The race between Isabella Keller, we'll get to her in a few minutes, and Foltz. And you gotta throw Farrell in there too. She ran a great race. She was in the top 10 at Laverne Gibson. So Foltz had the race won at the mile. She went through in about 5:14. And then she went through in about 10:55. The one thing that I really liked seeing was Sandera Weber and Natalie Beerbaum of Normal University. They didn't go after her right at the beginning. They were hoping, well, maybe she'll come back. Well, Fultz opened the lead up a little bit more, but that was about it. It didn't really change. Weber stayed with Heitzig when they ran first to the finish, and then she just ran out of steam. It's earlier in the year. You come 3 weeks later, she runs, what, 16:55, 16:56, gets second in the race. Fultz ran 16:48 the first time. She ran 16:36. Is she brimming with confidence? I would say so. So, Beerbaum ran 17:01, and then there was like a 45, 50-second gap before 4-5. And Jaden Girardi of Anna Jonesboro, she's going to do some big things over the next month, and Anna Jonesboro will too. Their splits coming down a little bit, but they were all under 20 minutes this time, so they're going to be good. Chatham Glenwood, their fifth runner, had a little bit of an injury. And Coach Mike Garber told me, yeah, we held her back a little bit. Started out a little bit slower, and then she built through the race. So hopefully she's better. And Chatham Glenwood runs next week at Lakes, and then they have the showdown against Normal U High in Rochester at Central State 8. So Chatham Glenwood looked okay. They didn't look like they were a few weeks ago. They were 110 points. They won pretty easily. But there were a number of good teams there, and what can you say? Chatham Glenwood's the top team in 2A right now. Morton ran well. Normal University was 6th. I didn't see Zoe Carter in the race. And then Anna Jonesboro was tied 3rd with Morton, I believe. And yeah, I could do this. Why didn't I do this, Mike? You're silly. You can have the results right here on your screen. Why did I think about it? I'm wide asleep right now. It's a long weekend. So, was I impressed with Chatham Glenwood? Yeah. Longrim ran a good race. She was 5th runner last week at the Springfield Invite. She was their #1 runner, finished 5th overall. There you are. So, you don't get to see me in this kind of an angle, you know. It's, come on, show me. There we go. Sorry for the delay. I can't believe the Bears. What is the over-under on showing Taylor Swift on NBC tonight? I say 15. Oh, Taylor Swift is going to be in the house. Oh, I don't know if she's going to be there. But how can the Bears lose to Denver? And wouldn't it be funny if Denver lost to the Jets next week? That's so. You have Crystal Lake South. I'm so sorry, Gators. Gatorland. They were 157 points. Anna Jonesboro. 167 points, 427, 36, 47, 53. They still had under a 50-second split from 2 to 5. But Anna Jonesboro, Tolono University, be there. Anna Jonesboro will be in the Benton sectional, and Tolono Unity will be in the sectional to be announced, since it still hasn't been announced. Morton, 167 points. Waterloo, 178. Kind of surprised that I thought Waterloo would be in the top 3. So I don't know if they ran all the runners. I haven't gone in depth on that. So be it with that. The boys race at Peoria. So I received a text on Tuesday night. Dylan is going to run in Peoria. Weather looks to be good, and we didn't count on the rain that we got during the week. Nellie said afterwards, yeah, you know, it's just an off race. He went through in basically the same pace. He went through 4:29 at the mile. That's what he did 2 weeks ago. And then he came back. He was 9:21 at 2 miles. And he didn't have that spring. You know, when you're running on a wet course, you kind of sink down a little bit. This wasn't wet, but the grass was a little bit longer. They didn't have a chance to get it ready. So what can you say? What can you say with that? He ran at 14:17. He has the 2 fastest times at Detweiler Park, but he really wanted to run something special. So what can you do? You just move on. They don't run again. Marion got 5th in that race. They look good. So Nally 14:17. Kudos to Gavin Genesio. He's been through a lot over the last few weeks. But he stayed back. He was about 14-15 seconds behind Nally at 2 miles, and he started to pick him off slowly but surely. And he was only within 7 seconds. At the end, he said, I came around the curve, I saw him struggling a little bit. I decided, what the heck? I'm going after him. So, great race by Genesio. Is he the 1A favorite? Yeah, I think so. He's the defending champion. So you got to say, until somebody beats him, he is the favorite. Horton. So now we know the comparison between St. Joe and Detweiler Park. We have a little bit of an idea. Because on that road course, but those are the top 2 times. No, they're not the top 2 times. The state you ran on a road course. Ran 3 miles. I would say that's a PR for 3 miles. But Horton was 14:41. He was 14:13, so about 28 seconds. Foltz in the girls' race was 16:10. She ran 16:37. So 27, 28, 29 second difference from there to Detweiler. Okay, you're watching this, Roland. Okay. So Horton was third, 14:41. Dale Johnson, 14:42. Jackson Barrett, 14:51. Barrett fell back during the last mile. They stayed under control. Nally went out in 4:29. The pack, those 4 guys, 4:39. And then I think there was another 10-second gap before Finn Richards of Bennett Academy came through. So, what do you do there? Tuscola looked good. I mean, when you have 3 guys in the top 11 in a big meet like that, there were some good teams here. I mean, you have, as I click, Tuscola had 89 points. They were 3, 5, 11. And then Foltz was their 4th runner, 26. And then Xander, I can't pronounce Xander's last name. Oh, I can go there. No. He was 44th. Normal University, as they're coming in, I'm like, there's 1, there's 2, there's 1, 3, 4. They ran a 19-second split on 6. And you know what? I didn't look at the results to see how Glenbard South did. Glenbard South ran at Lyle Main Event. I know RB, who's 3A now, won at Lockport. But Lockport, Oktoberfest is not as loaded as they were. There are a lot of meets that weren't loaded. Wheat Mortonville South boys won pretty easily at St. Charles North at Leroy Oaks. Not a lot of great teams there, but the Tigers have been running good. They don't run now again until conference at Duquesne at Lake Park. So I'm kind of excited to see what they run in that. So Normal University 121, Bennett Academy 129. That gives us a good idea because Bennett Academy ran wrong way on a course 1 week. They ran at Caneland and they got close to Downers Grove North team, top team in the state. How can they be ranked number 11th in the country? I don't know. But Bennett Academy with 129, Benton 138. So take all those teams out in Benton and Tuscola. Tuscola is continuing. They got close. They ran a great race at Freeburg last week. They're getting closer to Tuscola. So let's see what happens. It's going to be a fun thing. And they're in 2 different sectional. Tuscola is in the sectional to be named, or whatever you want to call it. And Benton is hosting their own on that 2.92 mile Speedway at Benton Park. They always, it'll be Geneseo and Teal going at it. So Marion, 177 points. Peyton looks good. Peyton is still without their number 3 runner. 261 points. I don't know when he's coming back. If he's coming back, I know, but I promise I wasn't going to say anything. Batalto Civic Memorial ran great. So did Mount Vernon. So did Champaign Central. So, what can you say about that? That was a good race. I was excited to see what Nally was going to do. Okay. I was excited to see what was going to happen in the teams. It was like runners within runners. I don't know. Do I really want to watch Dallas, New England? I don't know. In the 3A girls race, Danielle Jensen. Maria Poliakoff of Glenbrook North was right with her at 2 miles. And Jensen wins by 20 seconds. So we're talking about Scout Storms. Barrington ran their divisional meet and they won pretty easily. We're talking about her. We're talking about Victoria Zaneta, prospect. Maybe throw Jensen in. I think she's very underrated. I think she ran well earlier this year, but to run 17:35 in those conditions and winning by 20 seconds in the last mile, and Poliakoff is nobody is sneezed at or whatever. She's good, and by almost 20 seconds. And team-wise, final scores. So Edwardsville and Huntley were ranked 10th and 11th. Edwardsville didn't have Thompson, their freshman, in that race, 84 points, and then Huntley, 109. Maine South still doesn't have a Curry. She's injured, but getting close to coming back. Maine South had a nice pack from 25th to 41st, 5 runners in between those spaces. They packed it up. They look at Fremd, Evanston, Warren Township, and Normal Community was within 7 points of Warren Township, which is ranked number 30 right now, I want to say. So things will change quickly this week, and then we have Naperville Twilight. So, in the boys' race, Crane said he was like wearing a wet towel. He was so drenched, and he was within. There was 2 guys. Gann was with him, and Josh Weeks of Morton. Morton ran in the 3A race. I was kind of. I have my own theory, but I'm not going to say it publicly. If you want to know. Any case, Morton got 5th in that race. Crane was 14:40. He broke away with 1,200 meters to go, and he won by 14 seconds over Rory Gann. And then Josh Weeks, 14:56, and Jack Jennings, woohoo, from 14:57. Tommy Nitz, 15:01. So Jennings is a real deal. Could we have a freshman All-State? Jennings just goes out and runs. He's a freshman. He's like, I'm going to go out with the leaders. He wasn't with the leaders. He was back a little bit. But, I'm going. So, he just races. He goes out and runs, and I kind of like that. So, New Trier, they didn't move up. This was just survive and advance. They just had to run to win. And they did. They were between 83, 85, 86 points the entire race. And they scored 83. Fremd, 2-4, and then their 3-4-5 is close together, but it's a little farther back from Jennings. Sandberg, Giblin's running better. He'll be even better in a couple of weeks in his conference meet, and when he gets back to Peoria, he'll be really good. But Sandberg has a real young team. Their 5th runner was back. So. Morton was 5th, Edwardsville 6th, Jacobs 7th with 283. York was 15th at the mile, and they moved their way up in the race. And I had a few people going, see, your former school, your alumni ran pretty good. They ran pretty good. They can run better. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But they finished 8th. So, and they ran, and some of them ran better times than they did 2 weeks ago at Richard Spring. So, as we go into this, let's go and look at Nike. And all I can say is nice they need more lights there. If you're going to run a nighttime meet at whatever you want to, Laverne Gibson, it's a real cross-country course at Twilight Park is flat. Yeah, so anybody who's complaining about the road courses, come see me. I have a lot of theories about that too. I never, in the old days, I never rated that meet. Well, Roland Speed rates the meet now, but I never put it in the rankings, deciding the rankings. I looked at points, I didn't look at times, but what can you say? I was happy that Isabella Keller ran individually, because she was about 8th at 2K with Molly Farrell and Liv Phillips. And then she was, next thing, out of the shadows. I was watching it on Athletic.live. The numbers would come up. Oh, Keller's in second now. She got passed at the end by Nikki Sutherland of Delta. And a freshman getting third, running 17:06, equivalent to 16:30 for 3 miles, which she would have been, here again, 1A race, 9 a.m., get there early at Detweiler Park to see that. There were people that were there early yesterday. You're here early. Well, I'm watching the 1A, 2A boys race. Not to put you in any pressure, Dylan, okay? There were a lot of people that came early to see a great runner run. He's like, I guess I'm happy with 14:17. I'm like, your standards are a little bit higher than everybody else right now, so that's a good thing. But Zariel Makia, there were a bunch of meets that were canceled in New York because of all the rain they've gotten. But Makia or whatever from William Floyd, 17 flat. She pulled away in the final by the shoe tree, and she took off. She won by 6 seconds. Sutherland passes Keller. This is an Illinois show, so I'm going to talk about Illinois runners. Liv Phillips 8th. I'm wondering, Liv, have your mother send me a message if you're running on Wednesday. I'll keep it quiet, just so that I can write a good preview. Liv Phillips 8th, 17:41. She ran a great race. And Molly Farrell 10th. Look at the last few weeks of Molly Farrell running 16:50 on that ice rink of a course at Woodbridge, and running 17:53 to get 10th here. To finish in the top 10 in this race, there are a lot of good Indiana schools. Let me tell you something, Indiana and Ohio. We still have the lease for Laverne Gibson. Whenever you guys can beat us, well, Carmel did in the boys' race, but we didn't have Downers Grove. We didn't have Hersey. We had Plainfield South that got close, and Plainfield North, and Oak Park River Forest, who didn't run their top two runners at Palatine, but we'll see. So team-wise, I'm really happy with no team standings. Okay. Oh. I'm really happy with the way that Prospect ran. They looked flat last week. I can't say that. Another off-the-record thing. Darn it, man! I was thinking, well, they're going to split things up. They're going to rest a few people. Last week, and they did. They ran everybody, and they looked flat doing it. This week, 7, 8, 9. Zaneta was 13th. I think 15, 16 with Lily Ginsburg and with Meg Peterson. And the gap was only, I want to say, 41 seconds between those top three, and then, because there was only like an 8-second split on 1 through 3. And then Ireland Wildheart, it was only like a 5-6 second split, but a bigger gap between 3 and 4. So they have 3 runners that are up there that are going to get low points at state, and that's when York and Downers Grove North and Barrington have to get those numbers in the middle of that pack to push Prospect back a little bit more. But 94 points, back-to-back champions. They look great. Noblesville, saw too many things on Twitter, or X. But 134 Mason, 153 Homestead, 192. And we said the individuals. On the boys' side, I know what's going on here. I'm really impressed with the way that Plainfield South is running. They had them as Plainfield, Indiana. Give me a break, it's Plainfield South. They made it 10XN. You don't know that? Blankety blank, blankety blank. Timing Company. No, Timing MD did a great job. They were getting the results up quickly. And they used Athletic.live. So it was interesting to see how the race progressed. I don't think Plainfield North or South was as far back as they were saying on here. Maloney's chipped in Reed at 3K, I think it was. But Maloney running in the top 20 at 2K, by the time he got to the 4K, he was in the top 5. He was third, right behind Todd and Quagliaroni Rowley from Brebeuf Jesuit and Fishers. I think, when the switch flips, when you realize that you can do some great things running-wise, that switch flipped after Dylan got food poisoning last week before Palatine. He came back, he took the lead, Vijay came back, won the race, and Dylan was fourth. Only like 5-6 seconds behind. This time, Dylan was third. So he's running with a lot of confidence. And running a confident Maloney with a confident Vijay, and I know we have Cranian that we have a lot of, Yubera of O'Fallon was like 16th, or Thoman 25th. O'Fallon's 5th runner was way back in this meet. But for Maloney to beat guys like Evan Trapp's a good runner from St. Xavier, Ohio. Jesuit is ranked in DieStat's top 30. Why? That's all I'm going to say about that. But they had 2 runners in the top 10. But Vijay was ahead of one of their runners. Provenzano of Carmel. Carmel moved up during the race, ran a great strategy. They moved up the last 2K to win that race. So Plainfield South, they're getting a little bit closer. They're getting a little bit closer to Downers North. But Downers North, when they need to race, they're going to race. They're going to be the big favorite this Wednesday at Twilight. But Carmel with 192, Plainfield South with 239. Christian Brothers. Who the hell is Christian Brothers? I think it was Brebeuf. No, it's somebody else. So Christian Brothers, third. I didn't see that in the results. I'll have to go back and check athletic.net. Jesuit was 4th with 250, and Rockbridge 5th, 274. Illinois schools. Hey, congratulations to Prospect boys in the open race. They won. Scored 102 points. They combined everything. O'Fallon 9th, 15, 24, 66, 68, 177. And then LaGrange 18th. Killian Henning, I said your name right, Killian, ran his first race. He hadn't run since Kahirek at the beginning of the year. So he came back. He was their third runner. He was about 81st in the team standings for 21, 48, 81, 140, 157. Ben Wangenzer was their second runner. He was 48th in the team. So it'll be interesting to see what LT does. West Suburban Silver is going to be crazy sick once again. Because Glenbard West is running good right now. You have all 6 teams in the conference. 7. You We have 6 of the 7 teams. Whoops, I don't want to get any emails. Oh well. Tough conference meet. But I think Downers Grove North, I want to see where Oak Park compares, and I want to see where Lyons Township and Glenbard West, and Hinsdale Central too. Hinsdale Central is running this week at Twilight. That's going to be a good meet. Preview will be out sometime this week. Should I put it out early, or should I put it out 3 hours before the meet so everybody can't read it? You get the idea. It's going to be a great meet. It's going to be a great week. I'll be at Amboy on Monday. I don't know if I'm going anywhere on Saturday. There's a lot of things to get ready for. We're getting closer and closer to state meets and everything else, so that's about it. And then the Bears. Alabama played good, at least. And what about Georgia? What about Georgia, Harvey? Huh? 27-20, and they play Kentucky. That's going to be a good game on Saturday. We're talking college football with your host, Mike Newman. Hi. So that's about it. Other things. Annika Swan ran a good race at Solario. They have their meet is getting by girls' meet. It was good. Downers Grove North took it easy, charged up. Wheaton Warrenville South was the other ranked team. They were ranked 23. They did not run Poglish. They didn't run their top 2 runners, Frida Martinez also. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting that Poglish is running great right now. We'll see what she does. The individual race, if Phillips runs, and how Naperville North rebounds after Roy Griak. We'll see. Otherwise, I think we're going to have 2 great varsity races, and hopefully the temperatures dip down so that we have some good running weather on that course. And that course will be in great shape. We've had dry weather in Chicago since Friday, so that course will be ready to go. And Dan Iverson, Tim Brown, the staff at Naperville North always puts on a good meet. So we'll get the previews out, and I think that's it. Enough of me babbling. I'm going to go cry about the Bears. And so until we talk next time, we'll do Sunday night next Sunday before Amboy. But until the next time that we talk, everybody have a great week. Hydrate. Thanks for all the nice words at Detweiler and every course that I've gone to, other than the people yelling at me. Nobody's yelled at me to get off the course. I wonder why. But Illinois is great. You have great spectators for the most part. Okay, so till the next time we meet and talk, it's Mike Newman, Sunday night, ILXCTF. Now go watch the Jets and Chiefs and look for Taylor Swift. Bye.